Glad I caught you. I apologize for that, but I will not be long. Yulia Kalida has got herself into a great deal of trouble, and she has beseeched me to lend her my legal counsel. I told her I would represent her as a favor to you, if you are willing to owe me. For reasons that will become apparent, your friend is forced to maintain a low profile at the moment. She has chosen a discreet meeting spot, near the market. Please meet us there today, and she will explain the details of her predicament.
Did you hear? We have taken control of Egypt. If you ask me, it was long overdue.
Now, if the bread continues to be stale, we have only our own bakers to blame.
Is your back giving you trouble? My wife is a trained masseuse. Salve, Legate. Welcome back. Is there anything you need? Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you. Let us hope you'll never have need of them. You have purchased all my spare linen, and it is still not enough. I'm very sorry I cannot spare any more.
I love your dress. Where did you get it?
Thank you. It was purchased from Iomachia's clothing market in Pompeii.
I must arrange to visit that soon then.
My wife's family dreads the next census. I'm certain they will not be allowed to remain in their current class.
That's right. You told me they had lost their cattle over the winter.
Some kind of disease. She will be devastated if the censors reduce her father's standing.
The conqueror of Egypt announces his imminent departure from the city. He will take up his seat in Alexandria as proconsul of Egypt. An auction of fine cerwe will be held tomorrow by the house of Erasinus. Learned Greeks captured in the war against Mithridates. Strong-backed workers from Hispania and Mauritania. Erasinus has cerwe for every budget.
My cousin was at Alexandria, you know, on one of Vitellius Lurco's ships.
You look like you've been sleeping.
How did they manage to take the city?
The ships arrived just finally.
There he is, the man of the hour.
I need your help. They will kill me. I need someone to defend me at the court tomorrow.
He's only got worse. We had to leave him with the Medea.
It's a long story. What do you want to know?
I will pray for him at the Temple of Apollo Medicus tonight.
Rome. Look. I am a murderer. And I thought we were over this with my family, but... It wasn't even my fault. It was an accident. But Mother doesn't believe me. The moment I refused this new marriage they set up for me, Mother turned me in. I barely escaped. Thank you. I hadn't noticed. Any other brilliant observations you want to share with the class?
Your emotions are understandably frayed, Domina. But please do remember who your friends are in this trying time.
Feels like a lifetime ago. Before I joined the Legion, I killed my husband. Not by choice. But I was pretty, I guess. And that represented a political opportunity for my father. He never liked the fact that I was interested in men's things. He thought marriage would, in his words, tame me. As if I'm a wild animal needing to be domesticated. It's not that easy. No matter how far I try to run, my past keeps catching up with me. Julius Calidus is a warrior of renown in the Legion, and he has slain countless men. He's a hero. Julia Calida has slain only one man. She is a murderer. And whenever I enter Rome, I turn back into Julia, the husband killer. He was an extremely controlling man. I couldn't leave the villa except in his company. Everything about how I dressed, who was allowed to visit me, all was decided by him. I couldn't live that way. We fought about it all the time. One of those fights took place atop the grand staircase. It got very heated. I pushed him. I was the one who decided to involve you in this mess. You deserve the full story. This whole thing is their fault. When my brother Aulus finally invited me to dinner, I thought everything was going to be fine. Not exactly. They were setting me up for another marriage. Can you believe it? Everything was fine at first, and Aulus was speaking up for me. Now that my father is dead, he is pater familias, after all. Then suddenly, this ridiculous mule walks in. Burienus Crispus. I didn't even expect that kind of surprise.
That's a common characteristic of surprises.
There will be a hearing tomorrow where they will try me for the murder of my late husband. I may be sentenced to death. I need Kikoro to advocate on my behalf.
Martricide. It's a difficult situation. Was he a particularly cruel man?
Not by Roman standards.
I would certainly not use that line in front of the public. Please answer my question.
He was a bit full of himself, but actually he didn't really do anything bad to me.
He didn't even whip you a little bit?
You think he could have?
Indeed not. A pity. This makes defense difficult. I didn't say that. I welcome the challenge, but you will owe me a great deal. You do have the respect of many who served under you. I will count on you to exert your influence when I run for consul in a few years' time.
Thank you. It would be impossible to repay you, but this means a lot to me. I feel like I'm multiple people in one. Julia Calida the warrior, and Julia Calida the murderer. I don't really know which one I am, but I can't be both.
We will see what happens. Walete, don't be late tomorrow.
I will not tolerate these hijinks in my court. Both parties to this case have selected me as your Judex Privatus. Show some respect, or go find someone else to preside. Is that clear? Let us continue then. To the accused, I pose this question. Why did you kill your husband?
Be very careful, Khalida. I am here to argue on your behalf, but your answers will ultimately determine your fate.
Absurd! Your father made a decision. Your duty is to obey. Instead, you turned into a murderer.
She said, I resented him, not I resolved to kill him. Let us not project our expectations onto the facts. Many healers, in trying to cure a sickness, end up killing the patient. Does that mean the healer is a murderer?
What's your point, Senator? I will not tolerate these hijinks in my court. Both parties to this case have selected me as your Judex Privatus. Show some respect, or go find someone else to preside. Is that clear? Let us continue then. To the accused, I pose this question. Why did you kill your husband?
Be very careful, Khalida. I am here to argue on your behalf, but your answers will ultimately determine your fate.
Absurd! Your father made a decision. Your duty is to obey. Instead, you turned into a murderer.
She said, I resented him, not I resolved to kill him. Let us not project our expectations onto the facts. Many healers, in trying to cure a sickness, end up killing the patient. Does that mean the healer is a murderer?
What's your point, Senator? Was she trying to heal her husband? Your client isn't known as a healer.
Certainly not. She's one of the most capable warriors of Legio Victrix. We know she is capable of killing a man like her late husband. However, her capabilities alone do not constitute evidence.
Intentions. Very well. Let us assume that death was accidental. Was she loyal to her husband?
That much is known to everyone.
Must we endure constant heckling by the accused's mother?
It almost feels like you want your daughter convicted, Domina. Was it you who called on the court?
It was not. I did. I am the pater familias. And your legatus is using you. What's the difference?
I do not understand exactly how you ended up in the Legion. Are they drafting women now?
He's questioning your character.
I was asking you, and I think you're evading the question. You strike me as a dishonest person by nature. I'm growing tired of this proceeding, and frankly, I've more or less made up my mind. Would the parties please repeat their demands?
We want her executed or exiled for her crimes against our family.
And we want her exonerated and free to walk the streets of Rome. I would ask the honored Judex to take into consideration that my Cleons was once a friend of your nephew, Julius Caesar.
Very well. Since the incident in question happened years ago, evidence is in short supply. Thus, I must decide based on my own observations. Considering her generally deceptive personality, her unwomanly profession, and her evasive answers, I have concluded with reasonable certainty that Julia Khalida is guilty. Respecting the accused's service in the Legions, I find that exile is the most suitable punishment, to be effectuated within no more than 5 days.
The honor of our family is restored.
I'm sorry, my girl. I did my best.
Is that...
Be very careful, Khalida.
She's...
Many...
What's your...
Certain...
Intentions. Very well. Let us assume that death was accidental. Was she loyal to her husband?
Is that why you killed him, dear?
Must we endure constant heckling by the accused's mother?
It almost feels like you want your daughter convicted, Domina. Was it you who called on the court?
It was not. I did. I am the pater familias. We're both pretending to be someone we are not. At least my pretending doesn't get people killed.
I do not understand exactly how you ended up in the Legion. Are they drafting women now?
He's questioning your character. That was artfully done. You didn't speak an uncomfortable truth, but you also did not lie.
Lucullus was a great imperator. If he picked you, he obviously must have seen something we do not. I think you are a dishonest person by nature, but Lucullus, I would trust even in death. I'm growing tired of this proceeding, and frankly, I've more...
We want her executed, or...
And we want her... I would ask the honored you...
Where, despite her generally deceptive personality and her unwomanly profession, I have concluded with reasonable certainty that Yulia Khalida is not guilty. I have found myself unable to decide without a shadow of a doubt. And doubt should benefit the accused. You are free, Domina.
Congratulations. I believe my work here is done.
You know I had no choice, sister. It was my duty. But despite it all, I am glad you're free. I will resolve to be a better man.